Okay, what up? I just woke up. I'm in my big snuggle thing. Sorry, this is a little late because I've been having to deal with some university shit as of recently. But we got it. I was supposed on Sunday anyways. Okay, so you want help? I'm opening my monitor, managing your relationship with the medias. I got you. Okay, we usually always like scroll unconsciously, right? Like we just pick up our phone and just it just happens. We just like instinctively just go towards that thing. One of the things I did is I said a bunch of shit that brought me back to my conscious mind. So like you're always gonna subconsciously like open your phone, go to these apps, right? So basically I put in some like barriers between those two things. I basically increased the friction between those things. I added a few like checkpoints, so to speak, that sort of bring me back to my conscious self. So what this looks like is it's like, for example, one thing I did very specifically was always try and stay logged out of my accounts as much as possible. So like Instagram, I don't have TikTok, but like it's the same for me for Instagram. Like I'd scroll on Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts. I can't really do this for YouTube because I prefer not to stay signed out of my like oh shit, my fucking computer, my YouTube channel. But at least for definitely for Instagram, I'm usually signed out and I don't have like remember password, okay? So I always try and keep like the remember password thing off. And so every single time I want to use Instagram or I instinctively open Instagram, what would always end up happening is I would see that I'm signed out, right? And I would see that I have to like manually retype my whole password and it would give me it's not really about the time like wasted. It's not about like the friction, okay? It's more so about the reflecting time it gives you, right? Because you open Instagram. I'm just gonna say Instagram, okay? But it this applies to like TikTok and everything else. I'm just gonna say Instagram for the sake of making it easier for me. Sorry, but just like you're gonna open Instagram like mindlessly, right? With just like no thoughts in your brain because we're addicts, right? So that's gonna happen. You need something to sort of like bring you back into your like conscious self. And so when I see the fact that I'm like signed out and that I see that it sort of like represents my my desire to quit these bad habits. So it sort of brings me back to my conscious self a little. You can go a step further, right? Like another thing I do is even my phone, I don't have fingerprint or face ID. I just have a super long password. So a super long password to my phone, that's like checkpoint number one. So even if I just pick up my phone and I try and open it, I see my super long password. It reminds me of my desire to quit these bad habits. And I think like, okay, do I really have to use my phone right now? Then I go to my Instagram and I do it and I have to like rethink this again, right? So these things really just like bring me back to my conscious self. It gets me to stop and think about if I really need to use it. And oftentimes, sometimes I'm like, no, yeah, I don't need to use Instagram. I did just open this reflexively. And so like I put the shit down. I'd like go back to doing work. So what else did I write down? Um, Okay, so yeah, something more extreme is to schedule your phone usage. Now, this is more extreme if you don't want to do it, like I totally get it. But this is something I learned from deep work, and this is like scientifically proven, whatever. It's deep work. It's by Cal Newport. It's like trustable. This smart guy called like what's his name? Carl Jung. Give me a second. I need to see if this is right. Yeah, he's like a super smart guy from like the 1900s. Like he would do this. But basically, what they would do is like they would only check their emails once a day at the end of the day to prevent themselves from like mindlessly going on their email. So it's like the same problem like us like fucking Gen Zs or millennial whatever have these days, but like instead of like TikTok, it's like the old days, right? So they use emails, but it's like the same idea. So like instead of like up, yeah, yo, I'm saying like a lot, but basically, he'd check his emails only once a day. Basically, at the end of the day, to sort of prevent himself from like mindlessly just going on his emails and like mindlessly replying to all like the junk shit he's getting. Same thing with us. Like if you imagine if you want to like schedule in the amount of time you like the way I view Instagram and like all these other like things for communication is that like they're like recreational communication, right? So if anyone talks to me on Instagram or like Discord or fucking those are the only two I have, Instagram or Discord or anything else, right? If anyone ever talks to you like me on any social media, I consider that like more recreation. I think that like if anyone has anything really important to say, anything they really need me to answer right now, I usually just give them my phone number. And then so they can like call me if it's really, really important. So that sort of like helps with me like not being so dependent on like Instagram and like TikTok and Snapchat, whatever. And then what I usually do is I usually I do something similar to what like Carl Jung, deep work, piece of shit, scientific, yada 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 do, where basically I don't use my phone. I don't even keep my phone in like my work room unless it's like my dedicated time to relax. Because like as you know, you've been watching my channel. Thank you so much. I have like a very strict schedule, right? So I only tend to go on my phone. Like I try to limit it. Obviously, like I'm not fucking perfect, but like I try to limit it to only my relaxed time where I'm allowed to even like open my phone and use my Instagram or whatever. Again, yeah, this is a little extreme if you don't want to like schedule it, sure. Another thing for me that I think really helped was I sort of like I always scroll or like use the media, right? Like use like Instagram or just like scroll or text or like whatever, watch YouTube videos on in a specific location. That location is my bed, okay? I live in fucking Canada. It's cold. So sometimes when it's cold, or I'm just like not fucking feeling it, I'm having a bad day. I just like crawl in my bed. It's like a bad habit, right? I go under the covers. I just like fucking take a nap or something. But the thing is, usually in this location, what I would always do is I'd end up scrolling. Because I'm end up scrolling, these two things ended up like tied together, right? Like if I scroll, if I scrolled, I would gradually like gravitate towards my bed. And if I was in my bed, I would gradually like grab my phone, and start scrolling, right? These two things became connected to me. So one thing that I did that instantly cut out like 50% of my scrolling is that I just like told myself that during the day I'm not allowed to go in my bed. So I make my bed, right? So I wake up and I make my bed so it's all fucking nice. Because it's all nice, when I see it, I don't, it's again, it's like the checkpoint thing, right? When I see my bed, it like reminds my nice and neat made bed, it reminds me that like, oh yeah, I'm on self improvement. It gives me a checkpoint, but also it's like, you know, it's work to like unfurl the bed sheets and whatever. And I also just keep my door closed at all times as like another reminder to like another checkpoint. And by cutting out like this thing that was so closely tied to the social medias, right? Like the TikTok, the Instagram, the YouTube, whatever. I was immediately able to cut out like a lot of it. Like I would still scroll, but definitely not as much. Okay. Oh yeah, there are apps. So I've tried a few apps that like help me limit my usage of these things. The thing is, on my phone, these apps like always break for me. Like they did work for me, like a blocker. So there's blocker apps out there that can like, for example, if you still need Instagram to talk to your friends, but you always catch yourself scrolling on Reels, right? There's these blocker apps can like selectively block only Reels, so you can still view stories, whatever, but you just can't like go scrolling, which is really nice. It was helpful. I'm not gonna lie to you, like it was very beneficial to me, and it did help me stop a lot of scrolling because I would again, it's again the first thing, it relates to the first thing. It's like the checkpoints, right? So I would go to my Instagram, I'd go to my YouTube Shorts or something, and then I would instinctively, like reflexively, just click on like Reels because you know addicts, whatever, and then I just see a huge message that says like Reels is blocked, and then a motivational quote by like someone. It really just like kicked me back into like, oh yeah, I'm on self improvement. I'm not supposed to be fucking scrolling 24/7. Um, like my only problem with it though, like it might be because I have a shitty ass Chinese phone, so who knows? Is that like it keeps fucking breaking, and it really started like pissing me off. And so sometimes like it has like a 20% chance of working, so it's really annoying. But you can try them, right? Like just go to your like app thing and just search up like scroll blocker or something, or phone or app blocker or some shit. They're all gonna be good. Like they're all gonna be the same. One thing I do have though is something called cold turkey blocker. I have this on my computer, and cold turkey blocker doesn't glitch for me, which is really nice, and it basically blocks whatever I want on my computer. So like I don't know who scrolls on computer. I don't, but like one thing I do is I binge YouTube videos on my computer, right? So sometimes if I'm working and I know that, you know, I have no self fucking control, I would turn on cold turkey blocker, I block YouTube off my thing so I can like do work in peace. See here. Oh, one of the best things I did, yeah, is meditation. And this is because meditation is like the opposite of like scrolling in terms of your brain, okay? And like basically if you really want me to boil it down, scrolling is like it is brain rot, right? Like it's rotting your brain. Meditation is like the opposite. It's like brain nourishing. Like I only think there's two things you can do to like train your brain, okay? The first one is meditation. The other is like being bored. But those are the two things that you can sort of like reset your dopamine with. Um I love meditation because it's low effort, it's 10 minutes. You can literally fix it into your night routine, right? So you can meditate like while you're going to sleep. and then it helps you go to sleep as well. And excuse me. And meditation is really nice because once you start doing it for a while, like once I started doing it consistently for like a week or 2 weeks, what I found is that it sort of acts as like an auto deterrent. So sometimes I would get these urges, right, to like scroll or to like waste time or whatever. And then normally what would happen is I would like give into this urge, and then I would see that my phone password was really long. It would kick me back into like self-improvement mode, and then I'd like go back to doing work. But what meditation started doing for me is that like I would get the urge, right? But then immediately after getting the urge, there's like an auto deterrent that's just like, nope, I can't do this. And I immediately go back to doing my work. I basically like skip a step. So I know that's kind of like a shitty ass explanation, but I promise meditation actually does a lot. And specifically, it's mindfulness meditation. Because I think about it this way, right? Mindfulness meditation, like what is it? You breathe and you focus on your breath and you get distracted, and then you have to, when you're distracted, you have to realize you're distracted and bring that focus back to your breath. It's like the same thing. Like for example, if I'm trying to do work, right? I'm focused on my work, but then I get the urge to scroll, and then it's about like how long does it take me to realize that I got the urge to scroll and that I'm like thinking of scrolling and to bring my focus back onto the work. It's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like the urge of procrastination is the same thing as like the random thoughts you'll get when you're meditating, which is why it's like meditation is like so effective for like beating your scrolling habit. Because when you like, it's like the same thing, right? Then when you get the urge to scroll or to go on your social media or anything or whatever, meditation is like an auto deterrent. You're like, it basically trains how fast you can beat that urge and get back to like being focused. So meditation super helpful. And the last thing is really good. I shouldn't have saved this. Yeah, best for last, whatever. Is to remove the action from the urge. Okay, so you're gonna get the urge. You scroll or procrastinate, go on the social medias, whatever, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and it's important. It's really important to not give in to that urge right away. I don't remember what book I got this from because I got it from a book. I think it's Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I'm pretty sure, but basically, if you ever catch yourself like saying, "Oh, I'm gonna open my phone. I want to scroll, whatever," always set a set time limit. Okay, so be like, okay, fine, whatever. I can scroll, but after I do another 5 minutes of work. And what always happens is that your like monkey brain, right? It's your amygdala, your monkey brain that's like causing these urges is thinking like, okay, fine, whatever. We get to scroll in 5 minutes. Yay, I still win, right? I beat like Ivan Shao's like prefrontal cortex, this like smart self. Like I win, right? But what always happens is like if you just like keep going, if you just still keep doing your work for 5 minutes, you go on to like if you're reading for 5 more minutes. Like if you're reading, you get the urge to scroll, and then you're like, okay, I'll scroll in 5 minutes. What always happens is like your focus is back on reading, and you end up like not scrolling after 5 minutes. And it's also important to like teach your brain is kind of a weird. It's important to teach your brain like as if it's like a little child. Like your amygdala, your urges aren't gonna get what they want immediately. If that makes any sense at all, which I don't really think it does. But just like if you ever catch yourself, like it's kind of hard, right? Because you're already like in that urge mode. But if you ever catch yourself like, hey, I want to scroll, hey, I want to go on Instagram, I want to go on TikTok, but you know you shouldn't, just give yourself like a small time limit. Like, hey, I can do this after 5 minutes, after like 10 minutes of like, like doing what I'm currently doing. And what you'll find is that like oftentimes you'll just forget about it. You'll forget about the urge and you'll just keep like doing your work as normal. And it's like a good like mindset to have, right? So like you never get to just indulge in things right away. You always sort of have to like earn it. It's just like I think a good mindset to have. That's basically everything I've written down. Yeah, if you have any questions or comments, like I hope this helps. If it doesn't, I'm really sorry. If you have any questions or comments, like obviously leave them down. I'm happy to reply. I guess I'm just, it's 14 minutes. I want to take this time. I just want to do a little bit of yapping. The big project I'm working on. Yeah, like I'm sorry. It was supposed to be done today. It might be done maybe I'll try my best to get a post on Wednesday, but the last like 2 to 3 weeks have just been a bunch of like fucking like bro. I just had to deal with a bunch of university shit, which has not been fun or pleasant. So yeah, I've been doing that recently. And also, yeah, I kind of wasted 2 days, which is like I take accountability for. Like, I'm sorry, I kind of wasted 2 days because I got. Can I leak it? Can I leak this? I bought something that makes the video look nicer, and then during the 2 days where it was arriving, I basically didn't really do anything because the script was already done, and I just like procrastinated a lot. So I do take accountability. I'm like sorry for doing that, but yeah, I'll try my best to get it out on Wednesday. I really hope it's as good as I think it'll be. Low key, I don't know though, but I'll try my best. And you guys, love you guys.